Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Fabiola Beatriz Fortecosu with student number 202311020039. And in this video, I am going to present about Cinta Laura's bilingual identity in relation to Krashen's hypothesis of affective filter. Now, I'm going to begin with introducing to all of you who is Cinta Laura. Cinta Laura is an Indonesian German actress, singer, and also an academic. She is fluent in both Bahasa Indonesia and English, but dominantly in English. She lived and studied in US, specifically in Colombia, for 8 years. She is known for frequently mixing languages, Indonesian and English, when speaking. And she was once criticized for her accent, now praised for being authentic. And now, this is the hypothesis that I'm going to relate to my case of Cinta Laura, which is the affective filter hypothesis. It is developed by Stephen Krashen, and it's about how emotions like confidence, anxiety, motivation influences language use. So if someone feels comfortable and accepted, the filter is low and they express their language naturally. If they feel judged or anxious, the filter is high, making it hard for them to speak confidently. Now, Cinta Laura's experience abroad. From an article from Warta Kota, taken from the year of 2019, Cinta spent her formative academic years in English-speaking environment, like I mentioned, in Colombia, in the United States. And she said, selama 8 tahun aku membaca dan menulis makalah hanya dalam bahasa Inggris. Which means for 8 years, she only read and write articles only in English. So naturally, her language processing system become English dominant. So when she returned back to her hometown, she often code switch. Well, this is not to show off, but because it reflects how she thinks. And she also struggles in pronouncing some Indonesian words, especially ones that begins with ja and cha. For example, like Jakarta, she would pronounce it Jakarta. Or words like cahaya or cara, she would pronounce it something like cahaya, cara, something like that. Cinta Laura facing criticism at home. According to the Compass article taken from the year 2020, at first, Cinta was mocked online for her mixed language and her strong American accent. So people question her nationalism and authenticity as Indonesian. This can raise her affective filter, which made her feel self-conscious at first. Well, she still stood her ground and saying that that's just naturally how she speaks, and she did not fake that. Social shift in language norms. According to Compass 2020, it points out that dulu dihujat, sekarang banyak anak Indonesia tak pakai bahasa Indonesia lagi. Meaning, once mocked, but then now in reality, lots of Indonesian youth, they're not even speaking in Indonesian anymore. Well, yes, English is more widely used among Indonesian youth nowadays, especially on social media and in urban areas like Jakarta. Code mixing, once mocked, but now it's popular and accepted in part of youth language. This what makes Cinta's affective filter lowered. And not just Cinta, but actually many others too. And she feels more confident in her way of speaking. So what we learned from Cinta Laura is that first, language evolves. When we are exposed to a new environment, it changes how we think and also how we speak. Second, pronunciation isn't our identity. Speaking differently with new accents, it doesn't mean we're disloyal to our nationality. Confidence matters. Supportive environments, the one that does not mock the way we speak, help us feel free to speak. Naturally, of course. And last, cultural influences language. Culture influences language. Social acceptance can shift norms in communication. So, in conclusion, Cinta Laura's case showed that language, identity, and emotion are deeply connected. Her bilingual style of speaking is shaped by real-life input and emotional resilience. With changing social attitudes, she's no longer alone. Many young Indonesians speak like her now. So, as teachers, parents, and also peers, we should support multilingual speakers in embracing their full identities. Therefore, that wraps up my presentation. Thank you for listening to my presentation.